The Han Dynasty, which existed from 206 BC to AD 220, is one of the most influential periods in Chinese history. It is celebrated for its significant contributions to Chinese culture, governance, and society. This period saw the consolidation of imperial power, the expansion of territory, and remarkable advancements in art, science, and technology. In this video, we will explore this dramatic time in China's history and discover how it laid the foundations for many aspects of Chinese civilization that continue to shape the country today. The Han Dynasty era is often divided into two distinct periods: the Western Han, which ruled from 206 BC to AD 9, and the Eastern Han, which lasted from AD 25 to 220. The origin of the first of these, the Western Han, can be traced back to the fall of the Qin dynasty in 206 BC. The Qin had been the first imperial dynasty, and it was founded by the famous Qin Shi Huangdi. However, by 206 BC, there was widespread unrest and rebellion against the harsh rule of the Qin emperors. Among the contenders for power was Liu Bang, a commoner of peasant origin who had risen through the ranks to become a military leader. In 202 BC, after a series of battles and strategic alliances, Liu Bang emerged victorious in the Chu-Han contention, a 4-year power struggle against his rival Xiang Yu. Liu Bang established the Han Dynasty and took the title Emperor Gaozu. He set his capital at Chang'an, which became a political and cultural center of the empire. The early years of the Han Dynasty were characterized by efforts to consolidate power and stabilize the realm. Emperor Gaozu implemented policies that aimed to reduce the harshness of the previous regime, lessen the burden on the common people, and restore order to the empire. Following Emperor Gaozu's death in 195 BC, his son Liu Ying succeeded him as Emperor Hui. However, real power during Emperor Hui's reign was held by his mother, Empress Dowager Lu, who maintained control through a network of loyal officials. One of the key figures in this period was Emperor Wu, also known as Wudi, who reigned from 141 to 87 BC. He is known for his aggressive military campaigns that extended the empire's boundaries to Central Asia, Korea, and Vietnam. The annexation of the Nanyue Kingdom in 111 BC and the establishment of military garrisons in Korea in 108 BC are notable examples of Han expansion under his rule. Emperor Wu also implemented important administrative reforms to strengthen central control over the vast empire. He reduced the power of regional princes and nobles, who posed a threat to his authority, and established a more centralized government structure. The recruitment of officials through the imperial examination system, based on Confucian classics, began to take shape during his reign, laying the foundation for the civil service system that would become a hallmark of Chinese government. The Han Dynasty is renowned for its remarkable contributions to Chinese culture and science, which have had a lasting impact on Chinese civilization. One of the most significant cultural achievements of this period was the establishment of Confucianism as the state philosophy. The teachings of Confucius, emphasizing morality, social harmony, and respect for authority, became the guiding principles for civil and personal conduct. The Han Dynasty also saw the compilation of important Confucian texts such as the 5 Classics, which became the core of Chinese educational and civil service examinations for centuries. In terms of literature, the Han Dynasty produced a wealth of poetry, historical texts, and philosophical works. Sima Qian's Records of the Grand Historian, known as the Shiji, is a monumental work that set the standard for Chinese historiography, chronicling the history of China from its mythical origins to the Han period. The Book of Songs, called the Shijing, a collection of ancient poems, was also compiled and studied during this time, reflecting the social and political life of early China. Scientific and technological advancements also flourished under the Han Dynasty. The invention of the papermaking process by Kailan around AD 105 revolutionized communication and record-keeping. In astronomy, Han scientists made significant observations and improvements in the calendar, which included the invention of the first water-powered armillary sphere by Zhang Heng. Zhang Heng is also credited with inventing the first seismoscope, an instrument used to detect earthquakes. Medicine also saw considerable progress, with the compilation of the Huangdi Neijing, which means the inner canon of the Yellow Emperor in English. It was a foundational text of traditional Chinese medicine that laid the groundwork for theories of acupuncture and herbal medicine. In agriculture, innovations such as the iron plough and improved irrigation techniques contributed to increased productivity and food security. The Han Dynasty faced numerous challenges and conflicts throughout its history, both internal and external. One of the most significant external threats came from the Xiongnu, a confederation of nomadic tribes from the northern steppes. The Xiongnu frequently raided Han borders, prompting a series of military campaigns to repel their attacks. To secure peace and protect the northern borders, Emperor Gaozu adopted a policy of heiqin, or marriage alliances, with the Xiongnu. This strategy, along with military campaigns, helped to maintain a fragile peace and allowed the Han Dynasty to focus on internal development. Then, during the reign of Emperor Wu of Han, China launched several large-scale military expeditions against the Xiongnu, eventually pushing them northward and securing the northern frontier. One of the most notable internal conflicts was the Wang Mang interregnum between AD 9 and AD 23, when the usurper Wang Mang founded the short-lived Han Dynasty, interrupting the Han lineage. His radical reforms, including land redistribution and the abolition of slavery, led to widespread unrest and rebellion. The Red Eyebrows Rebellion, an agricultural peasant revolt, eventually contributed to Wang Mang's downfall, and the Han Dynasty was restored under Emperor Guangwu in AD 25. This was the second period of Han rule, known as the Eastern Han. At this stage, the capital city was moved to a city called Luoyang. The Han Dynasty once more engaged in military expansion, this time under a general named Ban Chao. During the 1st century AD, he captured and controlled parts of Central Asia for the Chinese emperor. The Eastern Han period is best known for its diplomatic activities, more than its military success. The emperors sent out envoys to different lands to establish trade connections and to learn more about China's neighbors. Diplomats from Central Asia visited Luoyang, as well as some from Japan. The most famous diplomatic meeting was when an envoy from the Roman Empire visited in around AD 166. Internally, however, the Han Dynasty became plagued by corruption, power struggles, and court intrigues. The influence of eunuchs and consort families, particularly during the Eastern Han period, led to political instability and weakened central authority. Factionalism within the government, often between Confucian scholars and other court officials, further exacerbated the situation. The decline and fall of the Han Dynasty were gradual processes that resulted from a combination of these internal and external factors. The Yellow Turban Rebellion in AD 184, a widespread peasant uprising, severely weakened the central authority and exposed the vulnerabilities of the Han government. Although the rebellion was eventually suppressed, it led to a prolonged period of chaos and fragmentation known as the Three Kingdoms period. Following the Yellow Turban Rebellion, the power of local warlords and military leaders increased, further eroding the central government's control. The Han court became embroiled in a power struggle between the eunuchs and influential families. This internal strife made it difficult for the dynasty to effectively address external threats and manage the empire's vast territories. By the early 3rd century, the Han dynasty had fragmented into 3 competing states, Wei, Shu, and Wu, each ruled by a powerful warlord. This division marked the official end of the Han dynasty in AD 220 when Emperor Xian abdicated the throne to Cao Pi, the warlord of Wei, effectively dissolving the imperial court. The fall of the Han dynasty marked the end of the classical era and the beginning of a period of disunity and conflict known as the Six Dynasties period. Despite its decline and fall, the Han dynasty left a lasting legacy, including the establishment of Confucianism as the state ideology, as well as advancements in science and technology. The expansion of the Silk Road during the Han dynasty facilitated trade and cultural exchange between China and the West. This network of trade routes not only boosted the economy, but also enabled the spread of ideas, technologies, and religions. The legacy of the Han dynasty still influences modern China. The name Han is still used to refer to the ethnic majority of Chinese people, and many aspects of Han culture, from language and writing to customs and traditions, continue to shape Chinese identity and influence global culture. I hope that you've enjoyed learning about the Han dynasty. If you'd like to learn more about the history of ancient China, be sure to check out our video on the tyrannical Chinese emperor, Shi Huangdi.